is produced in different
Produced
parts
in
of the
different
body
cells.
for no ma'am produced in different parts of the body for the removal of the body, you wrote in the notes
Removal
given.
from the body. Removal from the body, isn't it? Removal from the body. It is clear. Is it any confusing one? Carbon dioxide, which it is produced
No
in
ma'am, you
different.
wrote for the removal of the body, for the removal of the body.
For the removal of the body. Okay, that you can make it as from the body. Okay, no problem. Removal from the body. Okay, so here, anyhow, you understood the point, no? We have to
Yes.
remove these all things from the body. Okay, say everyone, close, take your hands, rub it each other, one over the other. Yes, fast, fast, fast. Vijin, do it fast. Everyone, keep it on your face. Fast, fast, fast. Do it. Yes, once again, 2 times. Do it. Fast, fast. Yes, yes, yes. Vijin. Okay, keep it on your face. Keep it on your face. Yes. Okay.
It's so hot.
Feel like fresh? Oh, Avanish. Oh. Anyhow, I have to take class. Okay. So here, Sharon. So the need for transportation. Why these substances need to be transported? See, in the last class, in the last previous chapter, we learned about cells, isn't it? Should I introduce again cells? You know about cells? Do you know about cells? Cells. Cells are the, like the bricks are the basic forms of the wall. In the same way, cells are the structural units of all the parts of our body. Isn't it? Have you heard about cell?
Yes ma'am.
In the last chapter, I explained clearly about this cells, isn't it? How many of you are remembering about cell? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Cell. C-E-L-L. Cell. Our body is made up of different cells, isn't it? Okay. So, okay, keep it down. Where do this respiration take place in our body?
Cells.
In the cells. Okay. So, cells, if each cell need to conduct this respiration, what all things they need? Ah,
Oxygen.
oxygen, then
Oxygen.
water,
Oxygen,
digested food, isn't it?
Digestive. Yes,
If
ma'am.
the digested food get
food
into
and
the
removal of
cell,
undigested food.
okay, if the digested food get into the cells, and if the oxygen also come to each cell, in the presence of oxygen only, this digested food can break down to release energy, isn't it? So each cell, if each cell is producing energy, then only we can do our activities, then only our body can grow, isn't it? Likewise, we learned
Yes
in
ma'am.
the previous chapter. In the same way, so each cell, in order to produce energy for our body, in order to do so many life process in our body, each cell need to require oxygen and digested. So these things should be reached to each cell. Oxygen is stored in the lungs, isn't it? Oxygen which we are inhaling stored in the lungs. That is to be transported to the each cell. Then only cell can produce energy. After that, digested food. Digestion is taking place in digestive system. Most of the digested things are absorbed when the food is there in small intestine, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Small intestine absorbs all the digested food. So digested food is there in the small intestine. That is to be reached into the cells. Up to there it is to be moved. Who will take these things from there to here? Who will
Cells.
take?
Cells.
So it should reach to cells. It should reach to cells. So that these all things to be needed to transport oxygen from the lungs, which is stored, is to be reached to cells. Digested food, which it is in the small intestine, that is to be taken to the cells. Water which we are drinking, that also need to reach in each cells. Okay, so in order to do the life process, in cells, oxygen, digested food and water, these all substances need to be transported. Understood? In order to do life process in cells, our body requires these all things: oxygen, digested food, water, these all things. That these all things to be transported to each cell. Then only the cell can make the energy. Understood? See, just understand. If your family gets so many things, rice, salt, sugar, tea powder, vegetable, fruits, if it is there in the markets, we all know that these all things are there in the markets. But these all things are there in the markets or in the shops, can your mother can cook it? Huh?
No,
Can your
ma'am. We
mother
have to
can
buy
cook
No.
it
it?
and
These things to be reached to your kitchen, isn't it? These things to be reached to
yes,
your
ma'am.
house, then only your mother or you can make it. In the same way, oxygen, digested food, water, everything is coming to our body. But these all things to be reached to the cell. Then only cell can produce energy. Then only our life process can be done. So it is important to transport these all things to different cells. I hope it is understood. And each cell,
Yes,
due
ma'am.
to respiration, carbon dioxide is produced in each cell. Is it good? Is this carbon dioxide is good? Is a good
No,
thing?
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No,
No,
it
No.
is
ma'am. It's
a
harmful.
toxic thing. In the same way, undigested food, that is also there in our different parts, isn't it? Undigested food. Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
that
ma'am.
is
Yes,
also
ma'am.
need to remove from the body. Is that undigested food, is it good to keep it in our body itself?
No, ma'am.
No,
No,
ma'am.
no,
No,
we
ma'am.
have to remove it, isn't it? So,
Yes, ma'am.
so carbon dioxide and other waste product also need to be removed from our body. Yeah, that is also to be transported to the, that is also need to transport it to the part from through which we can remove it. So here, the waste also to be removed from the place where it is formed. Okay, so each cell need to get oxygen, digested food and water to produce energy. So these all things to be transported, and the waste which it is produced in each cell, that is also to be removed from the place. Then only our life process can do. Our life process can be that all can happen in a smooth way. Okay, so in order to perform the life process in our body, we need to transport certain materials in our body. So as the what all food we are eating, it is digested by some particular system, isn't it? What is the name of the system that help us to digest the food?
Digestive system.
Okay, in the same way,
Digestive system.
yeah, in the same way, this materials or substances are transporting, moving all over our body. The name of that system, the name of that system that helps to transport or circulate this old material. Can you tell me the name of that system? Can you tell me the name of the system that circulates? That circulates this old
Circulatory system.
Circulatory system.
circulatory system. Okay, circulatory system. So, in our body, the system called circulatory system. I hope you can see the board now. Okay, the system called circulatory system that helps to circulation or transportation of substances in our body. Should I explain once again? Is it clear? Okay, let me ask you some question. Dion, what is the name of the system that helps in the circulation or transportation of substances in our body?
Circulatory system.
Circulatory system. Vijin, what is the name of the system? What is the name of the system that helps in the circulations or transportations of substances?
Circulatory system.
Circulatory system. Okay. So in this chapter, we may be learning something more about this circulatory system. In the previous chapter, you learned about this one, isn't it? Which one? Previous chapter, which system we learned in the previous chapter?
Respiratory.
Respiratory system. In the same way, this chapter, in this chapter, we will learn about circulatory system. First, we can see which all are the parts of circulatory system. We can see blood. Okay, blood vessels and heart. These are the three parts of circulatory system. Blood vessels and heart. Okay, so how many, Afrin, how many parts are there for the circulatory system?
3 parts.
3 parts. Can you tell me which all are the parts of circulatory system?
Blood vessels, heart.
Heart. Okay. So, Mariam, not Mariam, Annette, what is the name of the system that helps in the circulation of substances in our body?
Circulatory system.
Circulatory system. 3 parts are there. A component. Blood vessels and heart. You can see blood. I think everybody knows about blood, isn't it? Okay, nothing to explain more about it. And blood vessel. In this picture, you can see blue colored and red colored pipe-like structures. Can you see it, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, all over the body. See, from the brain to the toe of the this one, legs, through the hands, everywhere this is passing, isn't it? So that tube-like structures are called blood vessels. Okay. Then heart. You all know about heart also. See, in coming days, we will be learning some detail about these parts. Okay. So, yes, Gautam, what are the parts of circulatory system? Gautam, what are the parts of, which are the parts of circulatory system? Unmute. Again, not Dev Narayan, which are the parts of circulatory system in human body?
Blood vessels
and
heart.
Okay, so here we can see about blood. Okay, blood is a red-colored fluid. Red-colored fluid which flows in our body through blood vessels. How we can define about blood, Avanish? How we can define blood? How we can define blood? Yes, how? How? Define blood.
Blood.
Avanish.
Blood is a red colored fluid which flows in our body through blood vessel.
Okay, Alina. Alina is not possible. Neha Mary, how can you define blood? How can you define blood?
Blood is a red colored fluid which
So stop it, pause it. Blood is a red colored fluid. First point. Okay, how we can define blood? In 3 points. Blood is a red colored fluid. All of you learned it? Now, first is point. Blood is a red colored fluid which flows in our body. Second point, which flows in our body. Okay, how it flows? How it flows? Through blood vessels. Through blood vessels. Third point. So first point, Jagan. First point, how can we define blood?
Blood is a red colored fluid.
Okay, first point, blood is a red colored fluid. So, Jagan, read the second point.
Which flows in our body.
Which flows in our body. Okay, so can you tell the third point also?
Through the blood vessels.
Through blood vessels. How it flows through our body? It flows through blood vessels. Okay, so let me ask you. Yes. Amrita.
Yes, ma'am.
Amrita, can you define blood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Blood is a
Yes.
red colored fluid which flows in our body through the blood vessels.
Okay, Abhinavaji, define
Yes,
blood.
ma'am. Blood is a red color fluid which flows in our body through blood vessels.
Okay, Nihal, yes, define about blood.
Blood is a red color fluid which flows in our body through blood vessels.
Okay, very good. Okay, so we can move to the next topic, that is components of blood. Okay, I hope you can see it. Components of blood. Which are the components of blood? There are 2 components. Okay, for the blood, there are 2 components. So now we are learning the circulatory system, first part, blood. Okay, we are learning about blood. So blood is having 2 parts. How many parts are there for blood?
2 parts.
Two parts. Okay, you can say it. Don't. I want to be. If you are saying together, then also no problem. But somebody should respond. Okay. The components of blood. First one, that is called plasma. What is the name? Plasma. Plasma. Second one, it is the blood cell. Okay. So Abhinav, Manoj, how many components are for blood?
2 components.
2 components. Yes, Asara, can you tell me which are the 2 components of blood?
Blood cells and
you can look at the board and you can say, okay.
plasma.
Plasma. Okay, don't forget components of blood. 2 components. First one, plasma. Second one, blood cells. Okay, plasma and blood cells. So let me ask the question to whom I will ask. Yes. Afrin, which are the components of blood, Afrin?
Plasma.
Very good.
Blood vessel.
Blood? Sharanya. Sharanya, which are the parts or components of blood, Sharanya?
Ma'am, can I say?
See,
Ma'am, can I say?
one minute.
Ma'am, can I say?
Afrin, look at the board.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the second component?
Blood cells.
Blood cell. So you got confusion between the blood vessel, isn't it? What is blood vessel, dear? These are tube-like structures that is traveling throughout the part or body. Okay, spreading throughout the body. This is called blood vessels. Pipe-like structure, tube-like structure. That is blood vessels. And here in the blood, so through the blood vessels, blood is flowing. Okay, through the blood vessels, tube-like structures, that blood is flowing. Afrain?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the name of the tube-like structure through which blood is flowing in our body?
Blood vessels.
Once again, what is the name of the tube-like or pipe-like structures through which blood is flowing throughout our body?
Blood vessels.
Very good. Are you confident in your answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay, blood vessels. So, blood cells means that is there inside the blood. Okay, that is there inside the blood, component of blood. So there are two components of blood. They are plasma and blood cells. Plasma and blood cells. Today we can discuss about plasma. See, whenever we are thinking about blood, we may think about a red fluid, isn't it? It is a red fluid. Isn't it? Is there any solid red colored thing? Is there? Anybody got? No. Red fluid. So one liquid part is there, isn't it? That liquid part of the blood is called plasma. Okay, so the fluid or liquid part of the blood. What is the name of the fluid or liquid part of the blood? Plasma. See, can you see a yellowish colored fluid? This is plasma, blood plasma, liquid part, fluid part present in the blood.
In the blood cells also you can see the photo of a yellow substance.
Shane? What you want?
Ma'am, in the photo of blood cells also you can see a yellow substance.
Yes. Okay. See here.
That
is another thing. Okay. And that I will come to that point. That is
component. That's platelets, right?
Yeah, blood platelets. Okay. So this one, in the packets, plasma. Today we can only discuss about the liquid part. So the name of the liquid or the fluid part of the blood is called plasma. It is an yellowish fluid, sticky fluid. Okay, yellowish colored sticky fluid. See, in this plasma, 92% it is water. Okay, 92% of the plasma contains water.
Other percentage?
Yeah, percentage. That means plasma contain most of the part as water. Okay, and that is what 92% it is water. Rest
Other 8%.
Sorry.
Other
8% contain digested substances, other oxygen, then some other things are there in the blood, no? That all contain the other percentage. Okay, so most of that plasma contains water. That is what I want to explain. Plasma is the liquid part of the blood. Most of the plasma contains water.
Water.
Okay, is it clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it clear? Okay. So
Yes, ma'am.
2-3 minutes are there. Let me come to the blood cells. Now, blood cells. See, plasma is the liquid part. Blood cells are the solid part of the blood. Blood cells are the solid part of the blood. So if we are seeing blood, we can't see any solid part. But if we are looking
because they
through
are so
the
tiny.
if we are looking through the microscopes, we can see these solid parts also. Okay, the solid part that is present in the blood, that is called blood cells. Okay, liquid part. Nihal, what is the name of the liquid part present in the blood?
Plasma.
Okay, so what is the solid part that present in the blood?
Blood cells.
Blood cells. Okay, blood cells, not the blood vessels. It is the blood cells. There are 3 types of blood cells. There are 3 types of blood cells in the blood. They are called red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. See, this is in the picture, this is the RBC, red blood cell. And this is the WBC, white blood cell.
Platelets are the yellow thingy.
Yeah, yes, yes. So, have you heard about this RBC, WBC and all? Okay, very good, very good.
Only red blood cells and white blood cells.
You platelets, you did not hear about platelets?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, Naveen heard it. Okay. So children, blood. Today we learned about blood. Okay. Blood. Blood flows through Gautam CR. Blood through, oh, if I ask to him, he can't answer it, no? Okay. Abhinavaji, blood flows throughout our body through blood flows
Blood
throughout
vessel.
our body through
Blood vessels.
very good, very good. Okay, how many components are there for blood, Vichin? Vichin? How many components are there for the blood? Neha Mary, how many components are there for the blood?
2.
Ma'am, can I say?
2. Vichin, how many components are there for the blood?
2.
Which are they? Name them.
Blood vessel.
Blood? Mariam? What are the names of the components of blood?
Can I say?
Again, Akash? Yes.
Plasma and blood cells.
Okay, plasma and blood cells. Vijay, if you can't hear with your ears, earphone means change it. If you are simply physically attending the class, how can you learn? Huh? Remove that one and keep some other thing. Or otherwise you can keep some speaker. At the beginning you were very active and you were giving all the answers. What happened to now? That is why I am scolding. Okay. Huh? So next one, plasma and blood cells, isn't it? Okay. What is the name of the, Amrita, what is the name of the fluid part of the blood?
Plasma.
Okay. What is the, how many blood cells are there in our blood? Dia?
Ma'am, who you are calling?
Dia.
Yes, ma'am.
How many blood cells are there in the, tell me, how many types of blood cells?
3.
Okay, which are they?
White blood cells.
Okay.
Blood. mm, what it was?
Shane?
Ma'am, white blood cells, red blood cells, and platelets.
Dia, repeat it.
White blood cells, blood cells, and platelets.
Platelets and platelets.
Yes, ma'am.
Abhinav Manoj. Manoj.
Yes,
Which
ma'am.
are the types of blood cells?
Red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets.
Okay. So now I am taking the attendance. Okay.